the video? There we go. Okay. All right. So on page 50, um, we have a frequency table of a survey of 100 people, male and female, campers, to determine the sport that they most enjoy playing. Since there were 100 campers, the frequencies should add up to 100, which they do. And then they have turned that frequency table into a bar graph down towards the bottom of page 50. So they have taken the information. So it's out of 100 people. So we can say a percentage of campers surveyed. That is the y-axis, or the vertical axis. The horizontal axis is the different sports. And then, of course, we have a title, favorite participant sports. Oh, I mean, if you are making your own bar graph or histogram, it needs to have a title. That's just part of it. And then also you label your axes, what they are. But we're going to use that the frequency table and the bar graph to answer questions 9 through 12. So it says, if you look at which sport was the favorite sport of about 1/4 of the campers surveyed. So what is 1/4 of 100? That's 25. So if you look at your bar graph, that would appear to be which sport? Softball. Yes, softball. So the answer to number 9 would be softball. Number 10. Which sport was the favorite sport of the girls who were surveyed? Softball, volleyball, basketball, or cannot be determined from information provided? Correct, because the responses were not taken. We don't know who responded what. So it could have been boys, it could have been girls, So the responses were not separated out by sex or gender. Number 11, how might changing the sample group change the results of the survey? For example, what if the camp administrator surveyed only girls or only boys? So perhaps if it was only girls, you would have less people liking any kind of contact sport. And I know basketball isn't really a contact sport, but there's more contact in basketball than there is in softball or volleyball. And football is a contact sport. So that's just a supposition, though. I think it might change the types of sports that were liked most. So it says, how might changing the survey question, like the choice of sports, change the results? So what if they didn't offer football or basketball, or what if they didn't offer what they've offered here? It's a camp, so maybe they offered fishing and archery and
like the little log game where you go in the river and you row a log.
Okay. Yeah. So I think that might alter the question, the answers.
Mm-hmm.
So this survey is what was called a closed option survey because the responses were limited. They were given 6 different sports from which to choose. An open option survey doesn't limit the choices. So, an open option survey could be, what is your favorite sport? Now, that could also mean you don't play it, but you enjoy watching it. So, I mean, I don't play football, but I enjoy watching football. So, and how you word the question, what is your favorite sport to participate in? So you're supposed to, this is an extension, conduct a survey to determine the favorite foods of your family and friends. If you choose to conduct a closed option survey, determine which food choices will be offered. What size is your sample going to be? How will the data be gathered by the survey? How will the data gathered by the survey be displayed? You could do it as a bar graph. You could do it as a circle graph. You could do it as a histogram. There are many ways it could be displayed.
Is the histogram the one where they touch it?
Yes. Yes. Okay. So we are on to lesson 11, problems about combining and problems about separating. So these are word problems. So what you need to do when you come across word problems, you need to decide what is being asked. So if this word problem is asking you to combine something, or if the word problem is asking you to divide something up into different groups.
What lesson are we on?
11 is page 52. So this talks about word problems can be, we sometimes call them story problems. They have plots. They're mathematical plots, but they're still plots. So many math stories are about combining, and here we have an example. Before he went to work, Fam had $24.50. He earned $12.50 more putting up a fence. Then he had $37. Plot. Fam had some money, and then he earned some more money. So you have some plus some more equals a total. So there are 3 numbers in the pattern. There were none missing in that story about Fam. there were no numbers missing. It told us he had $24.50. He earned $12.50 more. That gave him a total of $37. This next story, there's a number missing. Katya had 734 stamps in her collection. So, and this is, some more. So let's see. Lesson 11. Problems about, that's in capital A. Combining. And then problems about separating. So we have Katya. Katya had 734 stamps. That's a lot of stamps.
It is.
Stamps in her collection.
Why do you have a stamp collection?
Well, a lot of people collect stamps. Stamps are interesting. A lot of them are, if you get stamps from different places in the world, they're very unique. And stamps are oftentimes very pretty. Or at least I think some of them are pretty. Because they're artwork. Stamps in the United States, especially specialty stamps, and not just, the flag stamps. Artists are commissioned to do the pictures that they put on the stamps. So it's art. Okay. So then her uncle gave her some more stamps. Now Katya had 813 stamps. How many stamps did Katya's uncle give her?
That means we have to subtract 813 from 734.
Well, we'll subtract 734 from 813, but we want to set up a pattern or an equation. So we have some, and then some more, and a total. And so this would be our numbers, and this would be our item or thing. So we have 734 stamps. And then we have X stamps equals 813 stamps. So our thing doesn't change. But to find X, we would subtract 734 from 813. So 813 minus 734. Okay, so we're going to have to borrow. So because 3 is smaller than 4, we can't take away 4 from 3. So this becomes a 10. This is going to become a 7. This becomes a 13. So 4 from 13 is 9. 3 from 10 is 7. And then 7 from 7 is 0. So 79. So Katya's uncle gave her 79 more stamps. Okay. And we want to we've read the problem, we've identified its pattern, we've written an equation for the given information, find the number that solves it or that's missing, and then make sure that the answer makes sense. So let's say you are trying to find someone's age, and if you get an answer of like 534,
56.
That's too big. Or if you get a negative number answer, that is not correct because people aren't negative years old.
That's what Ezekiel says. He says, I was born in 1789 and my daughter was born in 2001.
Okay.
And then my son was born in 2025. And I'm only 30 years old.
Okay.
His logic makes no sense, but we just let him explain it.
Okay, so we're going to look at example 1. Jenny rode her bike on a trip with her bicycling club. After the first day, Jenny's trip odometer showed that she had traveled 86 miles. After the second day, the trip odometer showed that she had traveled a total of 163 miles. So she didn't reset the odometer at the beginning of the second day. How far did Jenny ride the second day?
I'm gonna guess 37 miles.
Maybe. So again, this is sum plus some more equals a total. And we have our numbers here and our thing item here. So we have 86 plus X, or M, let's do M for miles, and our total, which is 163, and these are miles. So again, we would take 163 and subtract the 86. I've got to borrow again, so this would be 13. This would be 15. That would be 0. So 6 from 13 is 7. 8 from 15 is 7. 77 miles.
I was close.
You were? That's so silly. So we have that Jenny Road (77 miles) on her bike the second day. Okay, that makes sense, right? Okay. Don't think we have time to go over the separating. So we'll stop there.
And today's
Today's the 23rd. This is Intermediate Math 1. So,
intermediate math. What intermediate math? What grade do you have to be in intermediate math 3?
there's no Intermediate Math 3.
What is intermediate even mean?
It means it's not elementary. It's middle school. That's what it means. We could call it middle school math 1 and 2. Okay. Okay. So,
Are you writing down homework?
yes, I'm trying to decide which ones I need to tell you to do.
Isn't the homework on page 56?
Will just be 55. Practice set B. Just B. We'll do A next time. And then 1 through 15. Nope, we can't do it that way. Okay, so we have lesson 11, practice set, page 55, B, problem set, pages 55 through 56, numbers 1 through 3, and then 6 through 17.
So B through 17.
1 through 3, and then 6 through 17.
So skip 5 and 4.
Yep. We haven't gone over those yet.
What is 5 and 4?
They are we're doing a separation problem.
Okay, picture. Okay. Okay, I took the picture.
Okay. Okay. Okay, I need to